do you think, in your Buddhist point of view, would happen to those who suffer so much as to choose to end their own lives?
Well, let's put it this way. If it's a mind state,
Yeah.
okay, and wisdom leads to freedom.
Yep.
Yeah? Now let's say the highest truth. I'm going to quote a famous Buddhist Italian monk who died in 66. His name was Venerable Lokanatha. And he wrote a Dhamma, and he basically said, the highest wisdom, the highest truth is the highest wisdom, which equals the highest truth, right? Okay, the highest wisdom, the highest knowledge, the highest happiness, the highest truth. Now, where do all these things come from?
You.
Inside, right? Okay, so if all these things come from inside, and you can achieve the highest happiness, what causes one to kill themselves?
Just not achieving that happiness, or
Well,
other
of
influences,
awareness, perhaps. Lack of searching deep enough within oneself. You know, it's a sad thing. I'm not saying I'm not going to rip on that person, but if that person was to see that inside there is something amazing and wonderful inside oneself, that person would not commit suicide. After all, they're committing suicide to escape pain or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can't deal with it anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to escape, but they're escaping externally. They've escaped. Unfortunately, they're killing the very vehicle that can be their freedom.
Yeah, but what do you think, like in terms of reincarnation as well, what do you think would happen to them after they?
Yeah, that's because one who understands karma understands that it's complex, because you look at a moment of time. Have you ever had experience where like an accident or some kind, or you've seen something and 1 second seems like an eternity, like time suddenly just stops? Like I remember I was a little kid and our incinerator man, back in the days we had incinerators, he threw a spray can into the incinerator, and in those days they weren't very well, the incinerators weren't designed very well for these things, and the thing blew up and it blew a wave of spray paint, hot spray paint, and fire onto the incinerator, and he caught on fire. I happened to be drinking out a little bubbler at the time, and I was standing about 3 or 4 meters away, and I heard this loud thump, this boom, and then he came running out screaming he was on fire, and I stood there just looking at him, and I didn't know what to do. I was just completely helpless. Like, I couldn't say anything, I couldn't help him, I was frozen. And that moment didn't last very long, but it felt like, even when I go back to it now, it feels like time stopped. Now, these moments, if you look at them logically and pragmatically, they're happening millions every day, right? Millions. And how you act in those millions of moments every day denotes karma, and karma is cause, right, for effects. So if you think about how many actions you create in one day, and let alone a lifetime, that will lead to the effects that you experience now, which is 100 millionfold, you see. So even though, that's why sometimes, I might get I might be a monk now, and maybe in 10 years' time I might, hopefully this will never happen, but just as an example, I might get a verge of anger, of uncontrollable anger, and kill someone, right? Okay, hopefully that never happens. But the last, say, 10 years can't be ignored. It's still in my karma, it's still my causes. I've been doing very good things. So I will experience the effect of killing someone, but I still will also experience the effect of all the good I've done too. So if someone commits suicide, it doesn't necessarily mean it's all bad. Then instantly the effects of all the good things this person done should come to fruition, you see. So that's how karma works.